Hey guys, it's live streaming to Facebook. Okay, fantastic. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I know I've been on live quite a few times today. It's about 9:30 at night, but I really wanted to get on here, excuse moi, and I want to share a strategy that's really effective, that's been working quite nicely for our business, and I highly suggest you implement it into your business as well. That strategy, so many practitioners will say, I don't have enough clients. I'm not getting on enough sales calls. I'm not reaching enough people. How do I get more clients into my pipeline? How do I get a warmer audience to understand what it is that they do and perhaps down the road buy my product or service? The truth is, there are so many different ways to market yourself. There is organic outreach, there's paid marketing, there's free marketing, there's organic lead generation, which is what we're doing a lot of in our business. And it's kind of the hot way to conduct business right now is relationship building, building authority, creating connections with actual people, genuine connections, getting to know and understand about someone else, having them understand about you, and eventually forming these beautiful, genuine connections and relationships. So this is what I'm going to show you today. This is a great strategy. I highly recommend. Obviously, at the end of this funnel, the idea is that you have an online signature program. You have a modulated course with modules and lessons outlining your methodology, your system by which you get people results, right? The steps and the methodology that you help clients implement so that they can finally get a promised result. You want to work ideally with one type of person, with one type of problem, and you have one solution to that problem. That is, generally how marketing works, just because it becomes easier and less effort on your part to be able to market one solution to one type of person that has one specific problem. And that will not limit you. Don't think that, that's going to limit you to say that you want to help everybody. And if I just choose one person to help, I won't be able to, reach all those people. Well, guess what? That one person with that specific problem, there are many of those people. There are many of that profile. So you will always have someone to work with and someone to offer your solution to. Okay. So the idea is to get in front of your audience, get them to know, like, and trust you, of course, and provide lots of value. So one fantastic way that you could do this is by offering a live masterclass or a webinar or a workshop of some kind where you deliver value for between 40 and 60 minutes. And you want to pull your audience before and understand exactly what they need help with within their specific problem. There's going to be a general broad problem. Within that problem, they're going to have really specific issues that they're dealing with. You want to do a survey and poll them and understand what it is that they need the most help with. And then you're going to develop a workshop or a webinar around that topic, okay? And give them so much value. And at the end, you're going to want to pitch, book a call with me, or, check out my sales page. Perhaps you want to check out right away and purchase. If the workshop was high value, maybe they're going to want to take action right away. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you let people know that you even have a workshop coming up? Well, first of all, you want to have an audience. So this is all one whole strategy with many different parts. You want to make sure that you are building a warm audience. I personally love Facebook groups, which I'm in right now. You can do this via LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Choose your social media platform, build a community around yourself, around the idea of your program, around the idea of your business, and you want to invite the proper qualified, highly qualified leads into your world. This is why you have to be able to identify your ideal client, make sure that they have that specific problem, and they meet the requirements that you want in order to work with a specific person. Perhaps you want to work with corporate entrepreneurial women because you know that they're going to be able to afford your program. And you want to have the language that speaks to that woman about the specific issue that she's dealing with. Okay, so this is why it really is so important to niche down. I know there's a lot of resistance around it, but it really does help you in the long run to have a thriving, successful business. Okay. So what you want to do is ideally start collecting this pool of ideal clients into your world. You need fresh leads all the time because you're going to have eyes on your products and services, and some will be interested, some will not be interested, some will stay in the community, some will leave. You always want to have generating fresh leads into your community and grow your community at all times. And what you want to do is offer a workshop based on the poll that you put out, seeing what topic they're interested in. Once a bunch of people start saying, yes, I'd love to attend the workshop, how do I sign up? You want to have a sales funnel in place. So I was just thinking about this actually. A good friend of mine, Rob, I don't know if he's in this community. Hi, Rob, if you're in here. So many years ago, just told me casually, like, you really have to have sales funnels in order to run your business. And I was like, what is he talking about? I have no idea what a sales funnel is. And I don't know why, but I got so scared of that idea and that term. And I just like ignored it for so many years. And finally down the road, when I started really getting interested in what a funnel was, I said to him, oh my God, Rob, I wish I would have listened to you back then and asked you to explain to me more about what a sales funnel is. The whole idea just like scared me. I don't know why. Anyway, now I love sales funnels, completely comfortable with sales funnels, teach sales funnels, teach about the value of having a sales funnel. So what is a funnel? Okay, so I'm going to turn my screen around. I'm going to show you what a funnel is in a nutshell. I'm going to show you an example of a workshop that we did and how we used a sales funnel to generate lots of interest, lots of leads, bring them into our world, connect with them by email marketing, communicate with them, invite them into the workshop, have them attend the workshop, give them a free workbook, and then eventually call them up and ask them if they wanted to have a strategy audit call with Gabby or myself, bringing them into our world, having a properly scripted sales conversation, a very valuable sales conversation. And at the end of that, making an offer, having them either purchase our product or not. Okay, but still having them stay in the community, get acquainted with what it is that we do. Quite a process. Is it worth it? Yes. Is it valuable? Yes. Is it a great way to drive traffic into your world? Fantastic. So I highly recommend that you guys do this. I'm going to show you the details of how it works, just so you can understand. I'm also going to show you the importance of automation and duplication, the importance of having structures in place that you can duplicate. Anytime you want to put a workshop together, you can duplicate your processes, duplicate your pages, duplicate your funnel, basically, tweak it to the current content, and just have it be so easy because you have the proper systems in place. Okay, so I'm going to turn my screen around. I'm going to share this screen over here, and I'll tell you how it went. So I decided that I wanted to put together, some of you might have attended, my workshop called the Ultimate New Year's Planning Workshop. And what I had to do was write my opt-in page text and my thank you page text. Those were my duties. So what I did is I took previous content from a previous funnel that I had already created. And I said, okay, let me think about, the language and the messaging for this specific workshop, what I want to say, the psychology behind the pain that they're experiencing. What is it like to not have a plan in place? What is it like when you do have a plan in place? How great is it to have a plan in place? Okay. This is basically my thought process when I started writing out my copy for my opt-in page, for my thank you page. And so I started writing out copy. So I have this document as a template. Anytime I want to write copy for a new workshop, I come into the templated version of this and I write out my content pertaining to that specific workshop. I have my thank you page. I have it all laid out the way it is on the actual page within the funnel. And then I have them do specific steps. Okay, so I wanted to show you the inner workings of that. And just before I go on, a sales funnel is basically you have a large pool of individuals that are not really acquainted with you yet. You're trying to get them to know you, know who you are, know what it is that you do, what you have to offer, how you help, which problem you solve. So you have a large pool of people. And eventually, once those people start coming into your funnel, the pool of people gets smaller, right? It narrows down, but whoever's left at the bottom of the funnel, those are the people that are actually very, very, very warm or hot leads. These are the people that are interested because they have gone through all the steps within your funnel, coming into your world, getting more acquainted with you, getting to know you a little bit more about what you do. And they're very interested by the end of, by the end of the time when they reach this bottom point of the funnel, they're super interested because you've warmed them up. If you do it properly, you've warmed them up so much that they finally say, yeah, I really need what you have to offer. And I do have this problem. So it really interests me. I want to work with you. That's the goal of a funnel. Okay. So this is essentially what a funnel is. I like to imagine, a funnel. You have a kitchen funnel, you have funnels in garages, but they're all the same shape, right? You're taking a larger pool and you're taking them through a series of steps, very strategic steps, to bring them into the bottom of the funnel. Okay. So I decided that I wanted to put together this New Year's planning workshop. The first thing that I did was I went into the back end of my platform, and I already have a templated version of an opt-in page for a lead magnet. And then there's also one for a webinar. So if you are part of our BTG Tech platform, you will get all of these templated pages. They have been really created for the health practitioner in mind, with exact marketing prompts and psychological prompts and copy that you need in order to take your clients through the journey of understanding what it is that you do. Okay, so my first step was to write my content out on my Word document. And then I came into here and I said, okay, let me lay out the content onto my page by duplicating a funnel, a templated blank funnel that I already had in place because of my automation. Everything's already in place. All I need to do when I want to create a new workshop is duplicate and then tweak and refine the content so it matches this current topic. So as you see over here, I had to create a brand new image in Canva, no big deal. I had to rewrite, my headline, and I have this area here because the date is finished. So next time I run this, next year, I have this all set up. I just have to pop in the right date. I did create a workbook for this specific workshop, which brings even more value to the presentation. I had it converted into a fillable PDF workbook. So this could be a paid product, between the hour-long workshop and the workbook and all of the value that they're going to get out of it to move their businesses forward. This is worth a lot. So you want and this is my lead magnet. So you want your clients to say, wow, she really gives a lot of amazing value. And, this could be like paid content, but I got it for free, because you want them to get a taste of how you work, who you are, what it is that you do, and how you can help, right? So this is very important. And these are fields that we've included in all of the templated pages for our health practitioners in the BTG Tech platform. We collect name and email address. So many people are just collecting name and email address. In the past, I would collect name, email address, and that's about it. But there's two very important pieces of information. Phone number, okay? So we collect phone numbers, and I'll tell you why a little bit later on. And it's very important. If someone's, volunteering their phone number here, they're okay with you having their phone number. Country is very important, because if you work online, you're working with people worldwide, and you want to make sure that you're not calling someone in the middle of the night. And then they have the option to, say yes. You can tell them a little bit more about what they're going to get out of the workshop, who you are, why you're qualified to give this workshop in the first place, and again, ask them to opt in. Okay. So this was the opt-in page for the presentation. Very important strategically, it collects very important information. The next step that gets triggered in the funnel, because a funnel is a series of steps that is automated, it gets triggered, is my thank you page. Great prime piece of real estate to tell them more stuff and get them deeper into my world. Congratulations, you're registered for the workshop. You've done a really great job. Here's what you have to do next. So join us for the workshop here, sending them into my private Facebook group, and then download your free planning workbook here. Okay, so they have a few things to do, two things to do at this point. Download your workbook here so that you can prepare for the workshop. You can print it out if you need to, or you can have it on your computer and download a copy of it, and then join us within the group. This group is private. So in order to attend the workshop, they would have to answer my 3 questions in order to get into the group, right? And I hope that if you have a group, you also have qualifying questions and you decide whether or not you want to let people in or not. So I decline many people that are not my ideal client. They're not qualified leads, but I also accept people who are my qualified leads who I think would do really well within the referral network. So this allows you to give them a series of steps to take part in. And it's very simple, right? So by this time, they've already opted into my workshop. They get a series of emails that are automated. So I create a series of templated emails. We give you these in the academy. And these are emails that build a relationship a little bit more with that client before they have to attend the workshop. First of all, you can deliver the free content that you've promised. So you can deliver the workbook, for example. Then perhaps you want to tell them a little bit about yourself, but only as it pertains to what they're going through. You want to make it relatable and you want to form a connection. Perhaps you want to tell them a little bit about a client that you've worked with that's had great success with the same problem that they might be suffering from. Do you see why it's important to niche down? You're always going to be speaking that language. If you're working with everyone, your message is diluted and you're not going to be able to attract the right person into your world. It's so important, guys. I know there's a lot of resistance, but your marketing, your messaging is not going to be on target. You're going to be speaking to nobody. So it's really important. So that sequence of emails is really custom built to speak with my ideal client and speak the language that the ideal client needs to hear, right? I'm reflecting back to them the language that they speak. And they're going to hear that language and say, wow, she really understands me. She understands my struggles. She understands what I'm going through. And this is the person I would trust to provide a solution for me. She's been through it herself. She's helped clients go through it. This is why case studies and testimonials are very powerful. And it's a sequence of nurturing emails until they get to finally attend the event. So finally, they attended the event. In this situation, we had about 80 people attend, which is fantastic. Lots of people watched the workshop. Some people watched the replay. I left the replay up in the group for a period of time. I didn't want it to be there forever. And especially with my next workshop too, with my course creation workshop, we just took that down. So we wanted everyone to have access to it for a certain amount of time, but not forever. And I'll show you why, because we created a funnel out of it. Okay, so that was one funnel. After the workshop, what happened was my virtual assistant contacted everyone who left their phone number because they registered on this page, right? So my virtual assistant contacted everyone. She's really super friendly. She's very sweet. She's a pleasure to speak to. And she invited everyone to have a free strategy call because they attended the workshop. So it's a free gift that we give because the strategy audit call is very, very, very valuable. Even if they don't purchase anything, they get a lot of value from that call. So she invited everyone who attended to have the free gift of getting on a call with me. And so she ended up booking up my calendar with potential ideal clients that I spoke to. Some, enrolled in our system, some did not, some are thinking about it, but it's okay. As long as you're planting seeds, right? It's all about planting seeds, letting your ideal client know what it is that you have to offer, what the solution is. So it's so valuable. Ideally, what you want to be doing all day in your business, once you have all of your systems set up and your online course set up and established, is you want to be having these sales conversations or discovery calls or strategy calls, whatever you want to call it. You want to be having conversations with your ideal client every single day. Okay. Once you start filling up your calendar with 10 to 15 appointments of qualified leads, 10 to 15 appointments, so you could have, 60 people. You're going to be having valuable conversations with them. And that's how you run a business. That's what's going to allow you to run a business and allow people to know what it is that you do and convert them into paying clients so they can buy your services. All right. Now, I thought to myself, okay, some people will watch the replay on Facebook, but I don't want to leave this content up forever because it's really valuable content. I want to be able to offer this workshop again. So what I did is I created a second funnel. This may seem like a lot of work, yes, but look at what you get out of it. You get a pool of like 80 qualified leads that have just watched your workshop. They've warmed up to you, they've gotten to know you, they like you, they trust that you know that you're an authority and expert in your field, and they're going to maybe want to hop on a call with you and work with you. So yes, it seems like a lot of work, but I'm telling you that having this duplicatable, replicable pages in the back end, you're just like duplicating the funnel, duplicating it makes it so much faster and easier. So every time I want to run a workshop, I literally pull up these pages, write my new content, pop in a new image, start a new list in the back end so that my emails get triggered. I have to write a series of emails, yes, but it is worth it. And you want to pick topics that you can reuse the content for. Okay. So I said to myself, I want a new pool of people signing up to watch this workshop. And I want to still collect more names and email addresses. So what I created was a very, very simple opt-in form called my replay video sign-up page. So very simple. Hey, did you miss the workshop? Wow, it was really valuable. Sign in to watch. And then name, email address, and I started to collect more leads. And once they hit watch the planning workshop now, the second part of the funnel got activated right away. So they didn't have to wait to receive the replay or anything by email. They could just watch it right away because it showed up on the thank you page. So my thank you page ended up being a replay page. And the replay page had the video replay of that presentation that I gave. And it allowed them to also download the workbook for free in case they hadn't gotten the workbook that goes along with the presentation. And they were also invited to book a call with me if they wanted to go deeper and get their strategy for their year laid out in a more organized way and plan their business, right? So you can see there are many steps in this funnel, but having a sales funnel like this allows you to collect leads and qualified audience members so that you can bring them deeper into your world, into your funnel, eventually get to know them and let them know that you have a solution to the problem that they're suffering from, right? Because no matter what, if it's like in business, in health and wellness, people are suffering from issues and they need some relief. And if you're able to offer a solution and some relief for them, then you want to bring them into your world by way of a sales funnel. And it's super valuable to have a funnel. So that is the strategy that's working fantastically for us. We're creating these amazing presentations, giving a lot of value. We're getting great feedback from it. We're getting on calls with our potential ideal clients and having amazing conversations, meeting the most amazing practitioners, which are so many are in this group, all of you guys, and offering them the solution to help them run their businesses easier, in a more automated, streamlined way, allowing them to leverage and grow their practices and, you know, generate qualified leads into their world and get more clients in the door, basically. So that's my presentation for tonight. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it and found value from it. I'm just going to stop sharing right now. Yeah, that's my presentation, guys, for tonight. So if you found value, please let me know down below. I hope this wasn't overwhelming for you. It might seem a little bit overwhelming in the, you know, at the beginning when you're just starting to like, I don't have any of these systems in place, but it's okay. The point of Bridging the Gap and the tech platform and the academy is to really make it as simple as possible for you to get your systems and your structures up and running, so that you can start generating leads and, you know, consulting with your clients and doing health consultations, because you didn't get into this to be a tech wizard or a marketing wizard. You got into this to help people with their health and wellness. Okay. So that's your ideal, you know, your ideal goal. But the truth is that, you know, in order to run a business, you have to have the tech structures in place, and it allows you to just see more people and invite more people into your world. And it allows you so much more freedom in terms of your time and not being tied to like a schedule. It allows you more freedom in terms of the high ticket offer that you can put out there into the world and charge people for the value that you create. You're not just trading dollars for hours, but you're actually getting the value of what it is that you have to offer in a monetary exchange. So having a high ticket offer is really so valuable. But in order to get people into that high ticket offer, a number of things needs to happen. And that's exactly, you know, one of the strategies that I presented tonight was having this masterclass by way of a sales funnel and getting people into your world so that they get to get warmer, get to be like a warmer audience, get to know you, and then eventually become a paid client. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching tonight and have a fantastic evening. Bye, everyone.